All right, Pekin Hockey is out in full force this weekend as your Pekin 10U AA Dragons take the ice at the Arctic Ice Arena in, where are we at again? Orland Park, Illinois. That's right. The 10U AA Dragons' first seed round game to determine the division will ride in for the rest of the season is today. First two games, actually. Most teams in the division have a jump on us here. The team we're playing today, the Orland Park Vikings. They are currently undefeated in the standings with a record of 4-0. So we'll be there game number 5. And they just won their 4th game last night in overtime against the second place team that's in the seed standings by a score of 10-11. So that must have been an exciting one. Anyway, Dragons will get their warm-ups underway here. We'll be underway shortly. We'll rip through the roster here in alphabetical order. Number 19, Grayson Blevins. Number 5, Sterling Burks. Number 11, Easton Cook. Number 7, Braxton Corpse. Number 6, Duncan Hill. In net today, number 48, Adelina Johnson. Number 16, Kian Ledbetter. Number 25, Jackson McCoy. Number 29, Nash Moldenauer. Number 33, Jet Massiger. Number 77, Houston Richardson. And number 12, Noah Viviano. Pekin 10U AA Dragons head coaching staff consists of Neil Viviano as the head coach. Assistant coaches Chip Hill and Barry Moldenauer. And looks like we've got Brian Blevins on the bench. And Dustin Cook appears to be our penalty box attendant for this game. Thanks for watching, folks. I'm 33's daddy. Currently don't have any sponsorships as far as the beverage. Maybe somebody will bring me one. Who knows? This is, like I said, this is the first of 2 seed round games out of 6. Right now, game number 2 will be this afternoon at 3:50 p.m. versus the Northwest Chargers up in Mount Prospect. So be sure to tune in for that. And then also next weekend on October 11th, the Saturday, we've got a game at 4:20 versus the Vipers Hockey Club. And October 12th, Sunday morning, 8:40 a.m. at Northern Express versus the Northern Express. Be sure to tune in for that. Like I said, Pekin Hockey is out in full force this weekend. The 12U team is up in the Ann Arbor, Michigan region playing a tournament, the Big Bear Flatwater Tournament. Last night they came out ahead in their game 1 of the tournament versus the SISU Thunderbirds with a 10-1 win. Shortino had a hat trick in that one. And then this morning, they played their game 2 for that Flatwater tournament versus the Pittsburgh Arctic Foxes and ended up with a 5-3 win in that one. So they're 2-0 in the Flatwater tournament so far. Game 3 will be 2 p.m. Central Standard Time this afternoon versus the CompuWare team. So tune in to that, Justin Stump's Pekin Dragon Hockey channel if you want to watch the 12U team there in Game 3. And next, coming up, after this game at 12:15, we got a home game for the Pekin Junior Dragons 8U AA team. It looks like they're currently sitting with a 1-1-0 record in the CUHL seed round. So game 3 today at home in Pekin. If you can make it out in person, please do. Otherwise, you can check them out on the Pekin Junior Dragons 8U AA Hockey channel. Hosted by Mr. Dale Blackmore. 14U is playing at 12:40 today, Lake Forest Falcons. I think they usually put their games on Facebook if you guys want to watch that. So next is the Junior Dragons at home, 12:15. They got Dale Blackmore's got that one, and 14U. I think they have a Facebook stream at 12:40, and then 2 o'clock, 12U, in Game 3 of their tournament, and then our game at 3:50 this afternoon versus the Northwest Chargers. So we got a full day of hockey if you guys want to watch. Games are all over the place. Tomorrow, the Flatwater tournament that the 12U team's playing in will conclude. The championship game will be at 6 a.m. Central Standard Time, or the consolation at 6:10 a.m. Central Standard Time. Seems to me like they're probably going to the championship if they won both games, but I don't know what the standings are in that. So 6 a.m. Central Time for tomorrow for the exciting conclusion of the Flatwater tournament there up in Michigan with the 12U team. Dragons are currently sitting in 7th place. This is their first game, so record is obviously 0-0-0. We're seating in the, I think it's the White 2 division. So there's 3 divisions for 10U in the seed round, and then there's 3 divisions of the division. And there's a red, white, and blue. So we're White 2. We're in the middle of the middle. So we're going to seed either up or down, or we're going to stay right where we're at. Nobody knows. That's why you're tuning in, folks. All right, I think I ran through most of my notes. And we're on our own from here. Oh, yeah, I got some fundraisers. But we're going to talk about that in between periods. All right, let's go Dragons. This is Pekin Dragons, 10UAA hockey. Looks like the Dragons are lining up and ready to go. Going to have number 7, Braxton Courts at center, perhaps. Got a little bit of time left on the clock here, so I don't think we're ready yet. Stand by. A whole minute on the clock still. I don't know if we're going off of that or we're just going to let her rip. All right, once again, let's go Dragons. Courts at center, Easton Cook and Duncan Hill on the wings, Sterling Burks and Jet Nafziger on defense, Adelina Johnson in net. This is Pekin Dragons, 10UAA hockey. And we're off. Courts for the face-off. Vikings pick it up in the neutral zone, carry it towards the Dragon zone, dump it in. Nafziger stops it, sends it off of a Viking player back to the neutral zone, and Vikings shovel it back in. Got a guy racing up the slot there, and Dragons will stop him momentarily. Puck gets deflected over the near corner in the Dragon zone. Vikings get there first. Nafziger. Tried to stop that pass there to no avail. Dragons down by 1. 11:34 in the first period. All right. Grayson Blevins at center, Richardson and Viviano on the wing, Moldenauer and McCoy on defense. Blevins knocks the puck into the Viking zone, and he shoots it from the face-off circle. Save Vikings, and he'll stop that one up. Face-off in the Viking zone. Dragons down by 1. 11:19 remaining in the first period. Same lineup. Face-off in the Viking zone. Blevins for the face-off, back to McCoy at the blue line, and he'll send it all the way deep into the near corner in the Viking zone. Puck comes back up the near side boards, and Vikings got wheels. Moldenauer drives it to the near side boards. Viviano comes in after him. Up, back to Moldenauer, and our guys, they're short, but they're slippery. Yeah, puck comes back to the near corner. Blevins comes back to find it, and Viviano tried to chase it down on the near side. Richardson catches it in the slot. Loose puck rolls off to the blue line there, and Richardson will drive it out to the neutral zone up the far side. Vikings pick it up in their zone. Carry it around, turn it up center ice, and Richardson picks it off back to Noah Viviano. Oh, lost it on the skates of a Viking player. Puck comes back to the near side. Vikings pick it up. McCoy tries to hold it in. Got skated around there. Richardson and Moldenauer picked the puck off there for a second. Yep. Had another backdoor opportunity by the Vikings, and puck went wide to the back wall. Dragons will battle for it in the far corner. Puck comes back to the blue line. Vikings couldn't get the shot off in time. Up. And Dragons sneak it out to the neutral zone. Richardson. Oh, Vikings back to McCoy in the Dragon zone. He'll carry it into the neutral zone up the near side. And Nefziger comes in to help. He's in hot pursuit. As the Vikings carry it back into the Dragon zone, sends a shot. Oh, good tip attempt by the Vikings. Save Johnson. And we'll have a face-off in the Dragon zone. 9:39 remaining in the first period. Dragons down by 1. Courts at center, Ledbetter and Easton Cook on the wing. Courts for the face-off, over to Cook and back to Courts. Cook scrapes it out to the neutral zone. He's got a guy all over him there. Puck goes to the far side boards, and the Vikings carry it back in. Nefziger picks him off in the slot, and back in front of the net again. Oh, the Dragons can't clear the zone. And Easton Cook caught one in the shin guard, kicked it out to the neutral zone. Vikings will chase it down in their zone in front of their net. Nefziger chases him down. Back to Easton Cook. Ooh, fanned on the shot. Puck comes back to the near side, and Ledbetter will carry it up. Sends it towards the net there. Vikings push it back to the near side. Nefziger stops it at the blue line, sends it across the slot all the way to the far corner, and Courts will try to race it down. Tips one over behind the back of the Vikings net. Vikings get there first, and Nefziger couldn't quite hold it in. Back to Sterling Burks in the neutral zone. He'll shovel it back over to Courts on the far side. Yeah, Easton Cook battling for it at the blue line there. It's like Burks shoveled it back up to the blue line. Vikings come back out with it. Ooh, send one through the crease over to the near side, and Ledbetter gets there first. Vikings stole the puck, and they'll carry it up across the... We got a save? I think we got a save. Whoa, they're going to call that a goal. Dragons down by 2, 8:11 remaining in the first period. And we got to do some waking up. Blevins at center, Viviano and Richardson on the wing. Moldenauer, McCoy on defense. Nope. Too many men on the ice. All right, we got to figure it out. Blevins for the face-off. Vikings carry it into the Dragon zone. McCoy picks it off, carries it over to the near side, and he'll try to skate it around the back of the Dragons net. All the way to the far side, up to Richardson. He'll carry it out to the neutral zone. And Vikings pick it off, send it back in deep. Should be an icing call, and it is. Face-off will be in the Viking zone. 7:47 remaining in the first period. Dragons down by 2. Blevins for the face-off. Try to get it over to Viviano there, and Vikings carry it out to the neutral zone. Dragons send it back in. Vikings pick it up. Send it, looking for a pass into the neutral zone there, and we broke it up for a second. Puck's out on its own, and there's a Viking that's going to win that race. Paddles it over towards the net there. Oh, we got a ref. Fell down in the corner there. Ice is slippery today, folks. Got to be careful. 7:25 remaining in the second period, or first period. Period 0, according to the Jumbotron there. 7:25 remaining in the first. Blevins at center. And Blevins for the faceoff. And Burks sends it out all the way to the back wall of the Vikings zone. That'll be an icing call. We'll try that again. Same lineup. Richardson and Viviano on the wing. Blevins. Whoop. False start there. Blevins for the faceoff. And Vikings send one on net from the faceoff. Burks breaks the action up in front of the net there. Got it to Blevins, and Vikings chip it back out. They'll pick it up in the neutral zone, turn it around. Try to. Viviano's all over him. And puck comes back into the Dragon zone. Got a guy out front. Couldn't get the shot off in time. Got an arm up in the air. Looks like we'll have a delayed penalty on the Dragons. 6:53 remaining in the first. And we'll have a tripping penalty on the Dragons. Richardson will go off for 1:30. 5-on-4. Courts at center. McCoy and Nafziger on defense. Moldenauer on the wing. Courts for the face-off. Back to a Viking waiting at the blue line, and he'll send it in deep back to the back wall. Nafziger dangles around a Viking player, sends it over to the far side boards. Nobody there but the Vikings, and they'll send it back in deep. McCoy will chase it down on the back wall. Carries it up the near side. Uncontested out to the neutral zone, and he'll get picked off there at the center line. Vikings pick up the puck. Of course, trying to chase him down, and back to Nafziger. Go! Nafziger battling for it in the Dragon zone along the back wall. Got two guys all over him. Ooh, tried to do a backhand wraparounder there, and puck. I didn't see what happened, but the puck comes back out to the Viking zone. Moldenauer and Courts in hot pursuit. Back to Nafziger at the blue line. He'll hold it in, get the puck, and Vikings send it back out. Courts back to defend. Nope, that was Burks, sorry. And Johnson makes the save. 5:42 remaining in the first. Vikings up by 2. We got a face-off in the Dragon zone. Blevins for the face-off. Puck comes back to the near corner, and Nafziger will come out with it behind the back of the Dragons net. Tries to chip it over to the far side, and the Vikings' footwork was a little too much. Puck comes loose. It's out in front of the net, and Burks will send it back to the far boards. Puck comes back behind the Dragons net again. Go! And Duncan Hill tries to free it up out of the zone. Vikings got a shot there. Puck gets deflected back to the Viking defenseman at the blue line again. And Nafziger tried to catch it with his hand, and it bounced underneath Miss Johnson's pads there. Dragons down by 3. 5:04 remaining in the first period. Blevins at center. Ledbetter and Hill on the wing. McCoy and Moldenauer on defense. Blevins for the face-off. Chips it up into the Viking zone on the near side. And here it comes. Snuck in from behind him. And save. Blevins had the shot. Vikings made the save. Ledbetter chips it back out, looking for Hill in the slot, and Vikings bring it back out to the neutral zone. Moldenauer sends it all the way in deep from the neutral zone, and Vikings will get there first. Blevins is racing back for it, and they'll send it up the far side. Back to Moldenauer at the blue line. Tries to chip it through some Vikings traffic, and Dragons send it in offside. 4:32 remaining in the first. Face off in the neutral zone. Well, have a face off at center ice. Viviano and Richardson on the wing. Courts for the face-off. Courts chips it into the Viking zone. Chases after it. Vikings paddle it back into the neutral zone. Oh, got the guy with some speed coming from behind. Nafziger drives the puck to the back wall. Deflects it to the back wall. Vikings come back out. And here comes Burks. Races it out to the neutral zone. Gets it over to Braxton Courts on the near side. And he'll chase it down in the Viking zone. Back to Viviano. And Nafziger comes in to help. Dragons hold it in momentarily. Back to the neutral zone it comes, and Burks will send it over to Richardson on the far side. He'll send it in deep again. Courts and Viviano on the near side, and Nafziger kept it in. Didn't see what the penalty was here, but looks like the Dragons will have a power play with 3:40 remaining. 5-on-4 man advantage for your Dragons. Face off in the Viking zone. Moldenauer and McCoy on defense. Courts and Cook on the wing. McCoy sends a shot wide of the net to the back wall, and Vikings send it over to the far side. Cook will chase it down, tries to get it up to Blevins, and then he'll send a shot to the back wall. Vikings send it off the near side boards, and McCoy will pick it up, tries to get it through a Viking player there. Blevins comes back to help him, and he'll try to center one up, but he got it to a Viking, and Courts is all over it there. He's going to turn it around, carry it back in, and Cook's behind him. Here comes Blevins behind him, sends a shot. Oh, glove save, Vikings. Just over the top of the bar there. 3:01 remaining in the first. No idea how much time is left on the Dragons power play. They don't have the penalty clock up. McCoy from the blue line sends a bouncer and back to Courts. Courts, goal! Courts snuck one in past the blocker side of the Vikings netminder, reducing the deficit. Whoops, sorry. Screwed that up. There we go. Reducing the deficit to 2 goals. Dragons down by 2. Score is 1-3. 2:57 remaining in the first. Blevins for the face-off. And guy right off the face-off, right into the slot. Oh, and hit the post. Oh, man. Puck comes back to the back wall. Vikings get there first again. Try to feed it into the slot there, or into the crease, rather. And Nafziger picks off the puck. Back to Blevins, and he'll send it out to the neutral zone. Vikings will chase it down first. Turn it around. And they'll creep it back into the Dragon zone. Nafziger stops the shot, sends it over to the near side. Tries to pass it to Viviano, and puck comes out to the neutral zone again. And puck goes down deep into the Viking zone, or Dragon zone, rather. 2:08 remaining in regulation. I think that might be an icing call. It is. That's good. Both teams back to full strength. 2:08 remaining in the first. Dragons down by 2. Face off in the Viking zone here on the near side. Courts at center. Courts for the face off. And Vikings pick it up behind their net over to the far side. Courts gets there first. Chips it back towards the Vikings net. And nobody wants the puck, folks. I can't tell you what's going on. McCoy picks it up in the neutral zone, and he'll turn it around over to the near side. Lost the puck there for a second, but Courts will drive it in and chips it past the Viking player. Back to Easton Cook on the near side. Nope. And McCoy, held it in. Back to Hill, and he'll paddle it up the slot. Vikings send it back out. Moldenauer's going to race for it. Going to be another icing call, I believe. Nope, no icing call. And Moldenauer won the race back to the back wall. He's got a Viper all over him. Shots galore right in front of the net there, and no goal. Courts sends it back to the blue line. Vikings hold it in. Back to McCoy, sends it back to the far side, and Moldenauer chips it back out to the neutral zone. Courts is racing for it. Puck got past him, and the Vikings send it back into the Dragon zone again. Ooh, McCoy tried to get the puck there, got bounced into, and we'll go down for a second. Moldenauer on the back wall, battling with the Viking player there, and he'll send it back up to Cook. Puck comes back to the neutral zone. 27 seconds remaining in the first. Whoa, save Johnson. Like they were a little late to the whistle there. 18.4 seconds remaining in the first period. Dragons down by 2. Levens for the face-off. Ooh, sends a shot to his own net and over to the far boards. It gets deflected there. Vikings get there first. And Nafziger kicked it out to the neutral zone. Richardson out in front, sends a shot. Oh, and the Vipers netminder will glove that one up. 2.2 seconds, and we'll have a face-off in the Viking zone. All right, Ledbetter and Richardson on the wing. Blevins at center, Nafziger and Burks on defense. Blevins for the face-off. And that's going to do it for the first period of play, folks. Dragons down by 2 after 1. All right, let's talk about some fundraising. I think the gift card raffle might be over, but the drawing is tomorrow. So if you bought tickets for that, you still want to buy tickets for that, you gotta probably get a hold of some folks, but I think we're done selling tickets. Anyway, if you bought tickets and you win the grand prize, you win $1,000 worth of assorted gift cards. If you won the second prize, you won $500 worth of assorted gift cards. And if you win the third prize, you win $250 in assorted gift cards. Drawing for that is on Monday the 7th at 7 p.m. That'll be on our Facebook page live. Thanks to everybody who purchased tickets to that. Make sure you tune in to our Pekin Dragon Hockey Facebook page. All right, so the big one right now is our team sponsorships for the banner and fundraising t-shirts. We'll talk about details to that in the next period break here, because period 2 starts now. We're switching sides and going the other way for period number 2. Let's go Dragons! This is Pekin Dragons 10 UAA Hockey. Blevins at center, Ledbetter and Richardson on the wing, Nafziger and Burks on defense. Blevins for the face-off. Gets past all of Vikings traffic there. Carries it in up the near side, sends a shot. Save, Vikings! Had it loose in his belly there, and then he dropped it. 11:57 remaining in the second period. Same lineup as before. Blevins for the face-off. Face-off in the Viking zone. Blevins won the face-off. Puck got deflected back to the near side, and Burks will hold it in. Sends it up the near side. Ledbetter tries to chase it down. And Vikings try to come out with it. Burks says no, and try to get it to Richardson there for a shot. Just couldn't get one off. And puck's still loose. It's like Sterling might have gotten slammed with it a couple of times there. Vikings try to battle it out of their zone, and Dragons held him in for a minute. Nafziger's in hot pursuit. Burks tries to pick him off. Puck gets deflected to the back wall. Ooh! And puck went through the crease there over to the near side. Nafziger's trying to chase it down. Ledbetter. Oh, fanned on the pass there. The three Vikings. Oh, he just shot it off of Ledbetter's head there. And he'll be all right. Back to Ledbetter. Oh, just couldn't find the puck in time, and puck comes over to the near side. Blevins battling for it. The Vikings come out with it, send a shot over the top of the net, and that was a high step. Back to Ledbetter on the near side. Vikings get there first again. Keep it in the zone. Send it up the near side boards and back to Sterling Burks. Yeah. Blevins comes out with it. Nope. Yeah, Richardson helped it out to the neutral zone, and he's going to chase it up the far side there. Back to Blevins. All right, back to Burks in the neutral zone, and we got a guy by himself off to the races, but the puck's offside. So that didn't work out too easy. 10:01 remaining in the second. Face off in the neutral zone in front of the Vikings bench. Courts the center, Cook and Hill on the wing. Puck goes into the Dragon zone, and Vikings send one up the slot. Oh, loose puck. Oh, dang. Viking player shot from the blue line, and that's another save. Johnson. Vikings shoot another one from the blue line. Puck is still loose, and looks like Johnson will make the save. Got it covered up. 9:38 remaining in the second period. Face off in the Dragon zone again. Courts at center again. Looks like we got Cook and Hill on the wing. Moldenauer and McCoy on defense. Uh-oh, loose puck in front of the net. Save Johnson. Try that again with 9:29 remaining in the second. Courts at center. Courts for the face-off. Vikings try to send it up the Dragon slot there, and back to Courts. Chips it out to the neutral zone. Easton Cook will pick up the pieces, and he'll try to send it back into the Viking zone. Battle along the blue line here. Courts comes out with it, sends a shot. Save Vikings, and Vikings will chip it down all the way for an icing call. Have another face-off here, but at this time it'll be in the Viking zone, so we're one step closer. .906 remaining in the second. Game's half over, folks. Got a long way to go, though. Blevins at center, Viviano and Ledbetter on the wing. Blevins for the face-off. And Ledbetter sends a shot. Oh, almost got deflected into the net there, and the Vikings will come out with it behind their net, send it up the near side. Burks will stop it. Battling with a Viking player, and Blevins comes out with it, sends it up the boards a little further. These guys are fighting their own team for the puck. That's not good. Here come the Vikings back into the Dragon zone. Nefziger back to defend, and he'll stop that shot. Carries it up into the neutral zone, all by himself, all the way down into the Viking zone. Couldn't get a shot off in time, but he'll pick the puck back up on the back wall, and Vikings will strip the puck. Carry it up the far side boards. Nefziger back to defend, almost kept it in. Not quite though. And Vikings carry it back into the Dragon zone. And Nefziger will pick that up on the back wall, send it up the near side. And puck goes back to the back wall again. Sterling Burks tries to chase it down. Vikings completed a pass to a player behind our net there, and goal, Vikings. Looked like she had it under her pad, and then she fell back maybe. Score is 4-1, Vikings on top. 7:46 remaining in the second period. Hill and Cook on the wing, Courts for the face-off, and Vikings send it up the near side across the neutral zone. Puck squirts into the Dragon zone there, and Dragons are trying to battle it back out on the near side. Send it back out across center ice, and Courts is in hot pursuit. Oh, couldn't quite pick it off there, and puck comes back to the neutral zone. McCoy will race it down in the Dragon zone. Sends it back out to the neutral zone, and here comes Courts up behind him. Oh, couldn't get a stick on it, and McCoy up. Well, now we're back to defend. Chips the puck away from the Vikings there. And Duncan Hill had an impact with a Viking player in front of the net there, it looked like. Moldenauer will pick the puck up, sends it over off the near side boards, and he'll carry it up. Back to the neutral zone, got a trip. Delayed penalty on a Viking player here. And 6:46 remaining in the second period. Looks like the Dragons will have a man advantage for 1:30 and a face-off in the Viking zone. Dragons power play with 6:46 remaining in the second. McCoy and Nefziger on defense. Blevins at center, Richardson and Courts on the wing. Blevins for the face-off. And he'll come out with it. Sends a shot. Oh, got deflected off the back wall, and he'll chase it down. Sends the puck up the far side boards. Courts sends a shot on net. Save. Vikings got deflected. And here come the Vikings across the neutral zone. Nefziger back to defend, and he'll drive it to the near corner. Chases it down on the back wall. Just couldn't quite squeeze it past the Viking. There he goes. There he comes. Oh, up out of the neutral zone. And Courts and Richardson are trying to chase it down. Nefziger will chase it down deep in the Dragon zone, picks it up, skates it behind the back of the Dragon's net, passes it over to Blevins on the near side, and he'll try to send it up out of the zone, but it got deflected, and the Vikings kept it back in. Johnson makes the save. Adelina says no, and 5:54 remaining in the second. 39 seconds remaining in the Vikings penalty. Same lineup, I think. Nope. No, maybe. I don't know. Blevins for the face-off, and he's going to carry it across the neutral zone. Courts is going with him, and he carries it all the way in. Couldn't get a shot off. Sent it. Whoa, he did get a shot off from the corner. And it got stuck under the pads of the Viking netminder there, but we'll have a face-off in the Viking zone with 26 seconds remaining in the second period. Dragons down by 3, 5:41 remaining in the second. Courts for the face-off, pushes it through some Viking traffic, and they'll send it up the near side boards. Nafziger stops it, sends a shot towards the net, and that got deflected over to the far corner, and Moldenauer is going to race down for it. And Vikings come up the far side. Puck comes back to the neutral zone. McCoy in a foot race, Nafziger back to defend. Oh, got skated around, save Johnson! And McCoy comes into the slot and sends it out to the neutral zone. Vikings race back for it in their zone, send it back to the neutral zone. Dragons are offside. No whistle on the offside until now, and now we'll have an offside whistle. 4:59 remaining in the second period. Both teams back to full strength. Face off in the neutral zone. Blevins at center. Hill and Cook on the wing. Nafziger and Burks on defense. Blevins for the face-off. And he'll almost pulled it into the Viking zone there, and Burks will knock it in from the neutral zone. Blevins races back for it on the back wall, and he'll get there, but he got stopped up, and the puck comes back up to the far side with the help of the Vikings. Get the puck! Nafziger racing back to defend, got skated around, and Burks will pinch that out of the crease and send it back up. Vikings send another shot from the blue line, and the puck was loose in the crease, and it got put into the Dragons' net, making the score 5-1. Vikings on top. 4:25 remaining in the second. The first CSDHL League game of the 25-26 season. Blevins at center. Hill and Cook on the wing. Blevins for the face-off, and they'll chase it down. Try to on the near or far side boards. Vikings come in, and Nafziger picks him off. Puck is loose, sends a shot right over the top and Miss Johnson into the net. 4:13 remaining in the second period, and the deficit is now 5 goals. Got to get some back here. Hey, let's go! Courts the center, Richardson and Viviano on the wing. Courts for the face-off. Vikings carry it right in up the slot. Nafziger's trying to get all over him. He'll come out with the puck up the near side. Sends it up to Courts, who will poke it out to the neutral zone. And we're ping-ponging across the blue line here. Richardson picks it up on the far side, carries it across the neutral zone, and sends it in deep all the way to the back wall. Courts tries to chase it down. Vikings send it up the near side. Nafziger holds it in and sends it up the near side. No, he doesn't. Battling for it on the near side boards here in the Viking zone. Somebody's over here helping out. Viviano and Moldenauer. All right, got a guy all by himself out front waiting for that puck, and he got it. Off to the races. Go Vikings. 3:12 remaining in the second period. Dragons down by 6. Blevins at center, Cook and Hill on the wing. Blevins for the face-off. Carries it into the Viking zone. Oh, just tried to get it through all the traffic. Puck stays in the Viking zone there, and everyone's chasing the puck. Here come the Vikings, all the way out front. And McCoy come back to defend there, and Burks will pick it up. Turns it around in the far corner, looking for Duncan Hill on the far side. Easton Cook will race over for it. And Burks picks it up on the back wall in the far corner again. Goes down on his belly there, and Vikings come out with it. Puck comes over to the near side. Duncan Hill there picked it off. Back out to the neutral zone we come. Blevins is chasing it down at center ice. And Vikings send it back to the neutral zone. All right, Vikings enter the Dragon zone. Burks tries to stop him. McCoy doesn't clear the zone, and Cook will chase it down on the far side. Back to a Viking player, and he'll send a shot. Goal, Vikings. Score is 8-1. Vikings on top. 1:54 remaining in the second. Will it ever stop? I do not know. Nefziger and Moldenauer on defense. Courts at center. Viviano and Richardson on the wing. Courts for the faceoff. Sends it across the neutral zone. Vikings chase it down in their zone and send it up the near side boards into the neutral zone. Nefziger picks him off, carries it into center ice. Can't control the puck, and the Vikings come out with it. Off to the races into the Dragon zone. Looking for a centering pass. Dragons pick that off. Back to a blue liner, and they'll send another shot in. And Johnson makes the save. 1:28 remaining in the second period. Looks like we'll have a clock roller when the third period begins. Well, I mean, it's not impossible, but from the face-off, Vikings send it over across in front of the Dragons net there to the near side. Puck comes back to Moldenauer in the slot, and he'll send it up to Courts, waiting at the blue line. Nefziger will chip it out. Okay. Knocks it through some traffic, chases it over to the far side boards, and Moldenauer back to the neutral zone. And the Vikings pick it up. Here comes Nefziger. Oh, just couldn't get a stick on it in time, and back to a Viking in the blue, or inside the Dragon zone. Sends a shot, save Johnson, and back to Nefziger. Sends it back up to the blue line again, and Vikings send it in deep. Moldenauer will race it down on the back wall. Vikings center one up, fanned on their shot there, and here comes Nefziger. Go! Skate! Nefziger brings it in, cuts in from the face-off circle, sends a shot, blocker save, and Courts almost had the rebound. Richardson almost had that rebound, and then here come the Vikings, sending it back to the neutral zone and all the way down. Going to be an icing call, I hope, and it is. Yes, sir. 6.3 seconds remaining in the second period. Dragons down by 7. Face off in the Viking zone. Let's see if we can knock one in quick. Courts for the face-off. Back to McCoy. Sends a shot. Wide of the net into the back wall. Vikings pick it up. And Courts. Ooh, tried to get the puck there away from him. Didn't. But, you know, the Vikings were saved by the buzzer there. All right, we will have a rolling clock when the third period begins, but first, I want to go through some sponsorship plans with you guys. Once I get them out here, out of my binder. All right, there is a $100 package, a $250 package, a $500 package, and a $1,000 package with various levels of sponsorship benefit to them there. The way this works is the teams are selling the sponsorship. 20% of that goes to Paha and 80% goes to the team that sold it to you. So if you want to support our 10U Dragons, buy a sponsorship package for you or your small business or your band or whatever you want. And one of the benefits to buying a sponsorship from our team is that I get to talk about you on our game broadcasts here. There's about 30-35 games in a season, and I try to get all of our sponsors into all of those games. So if you want to buy from us, I'll get to mention you here on our game vids. All right, period 3 starts now. Let's go Dragons. Blevins at center, Ledbetter and Cook on the wing, Nefziger and Burks on defense. This is Pekin Dragons 10UAA hockey. Switching sides for the final period in regulation. And we're off. Blevins for the face-off. Back to Nefziger, and they'll try to get it over to Ledbetter. He'll come over to the near side with it. Powers it up the near side boards, and Vikings send it back out. Back to the Viking zone again, and Burks is in a foot race for it over to the far side. Blevins gets it back to Burks, chips it out to the neutral zone, and he'll send it up to Easton Cook again. Vikings pass it over to the near side boards and back up to Burks, waiting at the blue line here. There's a lot going on right in front of me. Nefziger chips it out of the way of the Vikings there, up to Easton Cook, and he'll go with Easton Cook all the way across the neutral zone. Oh, looking for a cross-ice pass to... Nefziger will pick it up, back to Burks, and... Nefziger will chase it down in the Dragon zone all the way back in the near corner, and then he's going to send it up the far side boards, looking for Easton Cook. The Vikings saw it coming, and they're going to carry it in right up to the net. Burks says no, knocks it out of the way, and up to Grayson Blevins on the far side, looking for Easton Cook, and he found him. Back to the neutral zone, and Vikings carry it right back in. Fire one off of Sterling Burks' hip there, and Grayson Blevins will come back out with it up the far side. Trying to power it through the neutral zone there, and he's got an arm up in the air. Not sure what's going on. Yeah. Clock rolls to the 10-minute mark. And Dragons will have a power play for 1:30. Face off in the Viking zone. Oh, and the penalty clock's rolling too. That's nice. Hurry up! McCoy held it in there. Viviano's back to help him. McCoy picks it up inside the blue line. Carries up the slot. Oh, had a guy pick his shot off there before he could get it off the ground. And then back to Moldenauer in the neutral zone on the far side. Back to Easton Cook. He'll turn it around. Carries it in. Over to Viviano. He had a guy diving at his feet there. And Courts over on the near side. Battling for it. Viviano comes to help him. Puck gets freed up to a Viking player. He's skating it back to his own back wall in his own zone. Back to Easton Cook. Sends another one towards the net. Off of a Viking player, and they'll send it over to the near side around the back wall. Vikings come. Oh, McCoy held him in. He's all by himself, though. And all right, Vikings pick it up. Skate it up. Battle one wide of the net and over to the far side boards. Both teams full strength, and Vikings battle to keep it in. Moldenauer knocked that one out of the air there, and Adelina Johnson will cover in the crease with, well, the clock rolling to 8:10-ish. Probably be 8:03 or 4, 2 or 3 by the time. Oh, nope, 8 minutes. Blevins for the faceoff. Yeah, and over to a Viking player. He'll send a shot wide. Nafziger picks it up, sends it up the far boards, looking for Richardson. Back to Blevins. The Vikings pick it up in the neutral zone and send it right back into the Dragon zone. Nafziger's kind of pressuring them on the near side there, and they'll send it over to Richardson on the far side. Viking! Oh, we got a guy down here. It's like 77 went down. Richardson. Players will take a knee. Clock is stopped at 7:30 in regulation, remaining in regulation. Houston looks like he's in some pain there. He's on his feet, folks. He'll get a stick tap, a round of applause, and he'll get back to the bench and get checked out. Ready for his next shift. Face off in the Dragon zone. Blevins at center. Hill and Courts on the wing. Nafziger and Burks on defense. Blevins for the face off over to Burks. And oh, Vikings snuck out with it, sent one through the crease to the back wall there, and Burks back to Nafziger. Here come the Vikings behind the back of the Dragons net. Try to center one up. Courts is all up in their, or Burks is rather, is all up in their business. And oh, puck comes over to the near side, and Vikings hold it in, send a shot from the top of the face-off circle, and Nafziger will pick it up. Sends a pass up the boards to the Vikings, and Blevins will take it. Looking for a pass to Courts. Courts will chip it out to the neutral zone. Puck's trailing on net. And Vikings will get there first, carry it over to the far side, send one back to the blue line, and Vikings will carry it back out to the neutral zone. Blevins stops him in center ice there, and Vikings dove on the puck, because why not? They're only up by 7. And they're back into the Dragon zone. Sterling Burke says, you might want to take a seat there, fella, and puck comes back to Courts. Courts carries it in, sends a shot at the slot. Whoa, loosen his pads, and he'll cover it up. Clock rolls past 6 minutes left in regulation. Dragons down by 7. Face off in the Viking zone. Ledbetter and Viviano on the wing. Easton Cook at center. McCoy and Moldenauer on defense. Cook for the face-off. And Viviano's fighting for it there all the way out into the neutral zone. McCoy sends it over to the near side. And Ledbetter and Cook both battling for it on the near side boards in the neutral zone. Moldenauer carries it out of the Dragon zone and over to the far side, and here come the Vikings right back into the Dragon zone. Cook and McCoy all over it though. Puck comes loose to a defender at the blue line for the Vikings, and they'll send a shot. Didn't have enough gas on it. And Moldenauer looking for Viviano. No, he's not. He's looking for himself, and he sends a shot off the leg pad of the Vikings netminder and over to the near side. Back to McCoy. He'll send it off the near side over to Ledbetter. Sends a shot. Almost got deflected towards the net there, but we couldn't get that lucky. And McCoy strips the puck. Ledbetter sends it back to the Vikings. Vikings are easily offside there, and 4:20 Clock is rolling past 4:20 in the third period remaining in regulation. Have a face-off in the neutral zone. Burks and Nafziger on defense. Duncan Hill. I think we might be short a guy. Yeah. Oh, there we go. Yeah, we only had 4 guys on the ice. Whoopsie. Try that again. Face off in the neutral zone. Blevins and Hill on the wing. Courts the center for the face-off. Sends it across center ice there. Vikings send it back in. And Burks looking to swat it back out of the zone. Dragons can't control the puck, and it'll bounce into the crease and off of Adelina Johnson. 3 minutes-ish remaining in regulation. Dragons down by 7. Face-off in the Dragon zone. Courts the center, Blevins and Hill on the wing. Burks and Nafziger on defense. Courts for the face-off. And Nafziger back to Courts. Puck comes up to the blue line, but the Vikings held it in, and then Nafziger will chase it down on the back wall. Skates it up the far side, looking for Blevins, and he'll send it out to the neutral zone instead. And Vikings come back in for it. Oh. And Blevins picks it up behind the Dragons net. Tries to send it back out all the way down. That'll be an icing call, and we'll have another face-off in the Dragon zone. 2 minutes-ish remaining in regulation. Easton Cook for the face-off. Puck comes over to Viviano on the near side. Vikings stopped it, send a shot, save Johnson, and goal, Vikings. All right, score is 9-1. Vikings on top. Clock rolls down to about 1.5 minutes. We'll have a face-off at center ice. All right, 1:20 on the clock. Cook at center, Viviano and Richardson on the wing, McCoy and Moldenauer on defense. Cook for the faceoff. Vikings carry it into the Dragon zone. Oh, I think they called offside again. It was close. Under a minute remaining in regulation. Easton Cook at center still. Cook for the faceoff, comes back to Moldenauer. And he'll scrape it into the neutral zone. Richardson tries to help it in. And Moldenauer shovels it up the far side boards and into the Viking zone. Comes Easton Cook, back to Viviano, back to Easton Cook. And McCoy held it in the zone. Drives it up the near side boards. Vikings send it back up. And battle for it on the blue line as the clock rolls down to 20 seconds. Puck got loose and looks like Moldenauer's in a foot race. And he got there, good. Puck comes back to the near side. Easton Cook and Noah Viviano battling it up into the neutral zone. And that'll do it for the regulation play of the first CSDHL seed round game for our 25-26 season. Dragons and Vikings will line up at center ice for the congratulatory fist bump. We will, well, don't forget, but tune in at 3:50 this afternoon for game 2 of the Dragons' first Chicago outing of the season. Thanks for watching, folks. This has been 33's Daddy. We'll see you at 3:50. And trying to think of what else I can say real quick, but I can't think of anything. We'll think of it at 350 though. Let's go Dragons!